Russell Westbrook is one of the most athletic point guards we've seen in NBA history. This guy has made history with getting the most triple doubles this year in the NBA ever. He's made multiple All-Star appearances. He's accomplished many things that players dream of, even winning MVP as well. And now we've just recently heard that he's getting traded to the Lakers. Well, there's many mixed opinions about it. In this video today, I'm going to be discussing the truth about Russell Westbrook getting traded to the Lakers. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. Russell Westbrook is officially a Los Angeles Laker. This trade won't be officially done really until about August 6th, but this is the trade that is going to be happening. You never know, there could be more even added to this trade, but you never know. But still, the Lakers are getting Russell Westbrook, pairing him with Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Now, listen here, personally, I'm not really the biggest fan of Russell Westbrook. I respect the heck of a lot of Russell Westbrook because I think he is a really good player. But in my opinion, personally, his game style just really doesn't fit what I think he can do on the Lakers. But this scenario could work. You know, LeBron is definitely going to have to be that playmaker, that third option on this team, while he lets Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook take on more of the scoring load. I think if that happens, then this team can be a really good team as well. I'll have to give credit as well to Russell Westbrook because, well, if you don't remember when he was on the Oklahoma City Thunder with Paul George, and that year Paul George was finished, I believe, like the top 3 in MVP voting and everything, Russell Westbrook basically gave the keys to Paul George because he knew that Paul George was having one of the best seasons. So it's not like Russell Westbrook can't change his game to fit and complement a player, because he did it actually with Paul George. And well, we haven't seen that with other guys like he did with James Harden. We didn't really see that with him, but the Rockets still sacrificed a lot on their roster, even trading away Clint Capella so that Westbrook can fit better on the team. And well, they ended up having a better second run of that season. But still, Russell Westbrook, even when he got traded to the Wizards, he had a really good year. You know, he started off the year struggling, but once they got into the second half of that season as well, the Wizards took off and they even made it into the playoffs, which is very, very impressive because, well, nobody expected that from that team, but they made it. And we all know that because of Russell Westbrook getting traded away, that Bradley Beal, 9 times out of 10, he will possibly get traded away. I mean, they have some good pieces on that team now, especially with Kyle Kuzma. I believe that Kyle Kuzma can, he'll have a much better scoring responsibility, so he can average more points per game. But as far as the fit goes for the Lakers with Russell Westbrook, the Lakers need shooting. I mean, that's pretty obvious. The Lakers need a lot of shooting on their team, so they need to go after some good free agents, like possibly like a Wayne Ellington, getting guys like Ben McLemore still on the roster. They need to go after guys like that because, well, Buddy Hield would have been a better fit. I even think DeMar DeRozan would have been a better fit in the Lakers compared to Russell Westbrook. That's just my opinion, but what they need is just spacing right now. I mean, if you remember when he was in Miami, he was in the midst of his prime. He was at the height of his athletic power, so he had guys like Dwayne Wade as well, and Chris Bosh was the third option, but they still made it work in Miami. And the thing about it though is they had shooters around them. They had Ray Allen, they had Shane Battier, they had Mike Miller. They had many shooters around those guys in Miami, which made that team a really good team overall. And this is what this Lakers team is gonna have to do. They have 3 super athletic guys, 3 guys who are not even the best 3-point shooters, and the best 3-point shooter on the team anyway is LeBron James. So that's saying a lot for this Lakers team. But for LeBron James, he's gonna have to definitely be a third scoring option on this roster for this whole situation to work. And many people are saying, maybe LeBron could change Russell Westbrook, and that is a big possibility that he can come in and transform Russell Westbrook to fit in with this Lakers team. I mean, he's done it with certain players in the past, like Dwight Howard and many other guys that nobody believed work. Even some people thought that him and Anthony Davis wouldn't work for a minute, which made 0 sense to me. But Russell Westbrook getting traded to the Lakers is actually a beneficial move. I mean, when I first heard about it myself, I was shocked because, well, it's just the name himself, Russell Westbrook, on the Lakers. It sounds very exciting. It really does. But the fit does matter. And I believe that if they would have gone after other guys like Buddy Hield or Kyle Lowry or even DeMar DeRozan or even Lonzo Ball, for crying out loud, they would have been a much better team in my opinion. But adding Russell Westbrook, you're still going to be a really, really good team, especially in the regular season. But when it comes to the playoffs, that's when the question is really going to have to be answered for this team. But I believe that LeBron can bring out the best of Russell Westbrook going into this situation. But you know, you got 2-3 alpha dogs on the team. Anthony Davis already knows his role, but it's all about Russell Westbrook knowing his role on this team as well. So it's going to definitely be an interesting situation. You know, just like any other LeBron teams, I believe that in the beginning of the regular season, this team, they're going to struggle just a little bit. But then once it gets things grooving, then they can really get things done. So I believe that this team, you know, on paper, they look and sound really good. And they can definitely go out and contend into the NBA Finals. But it's going to be a very long season because, well, the Western Conference coming into next season, you know, is going to be extremely loaded with many great teams, especially if the Warriors could possibly even get Bradley Beal on the roster. I look forward to seeing this fit for Los Angeles and what they possibly want to do, having Russell Westbrook on this roster. So I believe that, you know, Russell Westbrook, he's going to be, you know, a very, you know, interesting fit for this Lakers team. We all know he can do. He's an energetic player, but, you know, he's getting older. He's 32 years old. He's going to turn 33 soon, so he's definitely not going to be the most athletic player as he used to be. So adding shooting more to his game is definitely going to be a big plus for him. And that's something LeBron had to do, of course, later on in his NBA career as well. And I mean, this can work. This has a probability to work, but if you all remember that situation where the Lakers basically was doing the same thing with Kobe Bryant in the midst of his later on his NBA career, where they got that super team in Los Angeles with Steve Nash, Dwight Howard, you know, in that situation, and Pau Gasol as well, but it didn't really work out due to injuries and just team chemistry issues. This is basically the same situation the Lakers are doing now, but we will see what happens with this fit. I mean, it's definitely interesting. I would love to see the pick and roll between Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook as well. I think that's going to be really interesting to watch and see. But the Lakers got to get shooters now. This is really their only option. They lost Kentavious Caldwell-Pope as well, so they lost their really one great spot-up shooter as well. So it's going to be a really interesting free agency for the Lakers. One good thing is as well that they're not really depleting a lot of money having Westbrook on the roster, especially when it comes to their future. So that's another really good thing. But they're going to have to go after some cheap guys who they can get on their roster that are decent shooters who they can get on this team. So yeah, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Russell Westbrook is now a Laker. It's crazy. But have a good day. Peace.